Right, for more on this, joining us now live from Amman in Jordan is Tahani Mustafa, a Palestinian analyst at the International Crisis Group. Welcome to the programme. Now, this seems to really remind us of what happened 2 years ago at the battle over Sheikh Jarrah in East Jerusalem. How different is it and how similar?
Well, I mean, we have to bear in mind that we're dealing with a government that is composed of a coalition that outwardly is Jewish, ethno-nationalist, and expressly anti-Arab. It's composed of two parties that champion formal annexation of the West Bank. And these are also individuals who are now in ministerial positions who are at the front line of what we saw back 2 years ago in Sheikh Jarrah, where we saw exactly the same issues: forced expulsion, attempted transfer, Israel trying to change the demographic reality on the ground. And that's exactly what we're seeing here. And
it is astonishing, isn't it, that the Israeli parliamentarians themselves are calling for this village, Khan al Ahmar, to be destroyed and also to forcibly evict the Palestinians living there. And as my colleague just said, Mustafa Fatih, they have no plan B.
They do not have a plan B. There's nowhere for them to go. And again, this is something that is an outright violation of international law, something that can amount to war crimes, something that human rights organizations, the UN, the EU, the International Criminal Court of Justice, even Israel's allies, the different European states, the US, they've all come out and said that these people have nowhere else to go, and any forcible transfer constitutes an international a violation of international law and a war crime.
And Tahani, who is there right now to fight for Palestinians' voice, that their rights, when we have the Abraham Accords, we have this far-right government in Israel right now? Who will prevent this village from being demolished?
Well, sorry, just to go back to your previous point, I think we also have to bear in mind that a lot of these residents are former refugees from 1948. So a lot of them have already been driven off their land once, and now they're going to be driven off again. As to who's going to advocate for their rights, again, we've had international condemnation from independent states, most who are allied to Israel. We've seen international condemnation from international human rights organizations. Yet none of that really amounts to anything unless there's any tangible action, unless Israel is held to account and knows that it cannot behave with complete impunity. And at the moment, we've seen a number of provocative measures from this government. Just a couple of weeks ago, we saw the National Security Minister at the Temple Mount. We've seen the pressure being put on the Palestinian Authority, where again the Israeli Finance Minister doesn't even believe in a Palestinian Authority. He's made outward statements to that effect. And again, that has been met with absolutely no actual tangible action against Israel to make it clear that Israel cannot act with complete impunity as it does. If anything, this is continuing to embolden Israel's far-right government.
And Tahani, just to go back to the village itself, 200 Palestinians there, and of course the government is calling for their immediate evacuation. How soon could all of this happen if no one stops it?
I mean, it could happen very soon. It's difficult to determine, but ultimately, we're talking about a government, again, that champions outright annexation. Ben Gvir is someone who is himself a settler, a resident of an illegal settlement in the southern West Bank. We're dealing with, again, a finance minister who co-founded a pro-settler watchdog group that pushes Israel to take legal action against Palestinian construction in the West Bank and is committed to enhance dispossession of Palestinians from Area C. So we could be seeing this occur very, very soon. And it's very unlikely we're going to see any tangible action from international stakeholders.
Tahani Mustafa, really great to get your analysis and your thoughts on this very sensitive subject. Tahani is a Palestine analyst at the International Crisis Group. Thank you so much for speaking to TRT World today.
Thank you.